Welcome back to Ask the Attorney, and tonight we've got Kevin Kennedy with the Kennedy Law Firm out of Clarksville with us, and already got those phone lines lit up.
Yes, keep them all lit up. We like to see them lit up.
Yeah, any type of legal question that you have, Kevin will be able to answer it. Call that number at the bottom of your screen, 615-737-PLUS, 737-7587. We've got Donna here. Hi, Donna.
Hello, Donna.
Donna, if you're there, turn down your TV set and you should be able to hear us.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No problem. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, Mr. Kennedy. I have got a question.
Just make sure you turn your TV set, the volume all the way down, and just talk to us like you're talking in the phone.
Okay. Can you hear me better?
Yeah,
Yes.
fine. Go ahead. Perfect.
Okay, I do apologize.
No problem.
My question is, in July the 3rd of 2013, my husband got hurt on the job. And when I took him to the ER that afternoon, they put him on crutches, put him on a knee harness, and all of that. And then the next morning, his employer took him to his doctors. Now, even though it was 2013, they just sued him for an bill that should have been paid for workman's comp.
Right. I got you. Go ahead.
And I called the Northwest Hospital, because we live here in Springfield, and they said the reason he's responsible for it is because Northwest workman's comp refused to pay the bill.
Okay, well, here's what I would do if I were you. I would go back to who he had. I would submit that bill. I'd maintain that it's under workers' comp. If they didn't pay it, I would go to the Tennessee Workers' Comp Commission and file a complaint. And so that's why it's imperative, again, try to get some lawyers to help you whenever you've got a workers' comp claim. And also, you keep up with your own file. Make sure the medical bills are being paid. And you just turn it loose, well, something falls through the cracks, and years later, they can come. How long can they come back? That's one of those contracts that could be, we've had them come back 6 years later, and they'll still say it. And then if it gets into 7, you can say, well, statute of limitations, but I would be very hesitant to pay that when I had an insurance company that was supposed to do it.
All right, good advice. We've got Joe here. Hi, Joe.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for your fine program.
Thank you.
My problem is I need to find a way of bucking the statute of limitation. I lost my eyesight due to cataract surgery, both of them. I'm almost completely blind. And being dumb to the fact what the doctors were doing or whatever, I didn't know it was a statute of limitation. And,
yes.
I don't necessarily want to sue nobody, but, hey, I've lost my eyesight in both eyes, and what can you do?
How long has it been?
2008 when it started.
Yep. Well, Tennessee, the legislature, the medical profession has a great lobbying group at the legislature. And so they've got a 1-year statute of limitations in medical problems, personal injury in the state of Tennessee. And once it goes past that year, obviously the other people are going to say, statutes run, we're not going to pay anything. Once in a while, we could come up with something shortly right in behind that and say, well, the doctor led me on, and he led me on, or the insurance company led me on, and you could try to bring something, but for all practical purposes, you must bring that case before the 1 year runs. And that's a good law so that people just don't leave them around. But remember this, ignorance of the law is no excuse. That's why this program is so valuable. And I'm so sorry to hear about the loss of eyes. And yes, you've been damaged greatly. No monetary could fix that. And the truth of the matter is that you're helping someone tonight who's sitting back and saying, well, I don't want to sue. And many times you don't have to sue. You can make a claim, they can recognize they were negligent, and two smart lawyers get together and they will settle those cases, and you never had to. So I really want the public to hear that. You don't have to bring a suit. They say, you know, we're Christian people. We don't want to sue somebody. We don't think that. Well, it's not really like that. You can make a claim and negotiate with the insurance company and get it settled. That's why you need a good lawyer and one that's on top of it. Stay on top of your lawyer.
Yeah. All right, we've got Jenny here. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, yes, I have a question concerning the house. A friend of mine has a house, and it was put on the market, and the price came down a couple of times, and then it was to be sold as a tear down, even though it had it was new hot water heater, new pipes from the kitchen all the way down to the water meter, new water meters, and everything. Well, now it's been sold and everything. The girl's house has been sold, but they sold it as a tear down, so she didn't get what she was asking for it. And now it's being rented out. Is there any repercussions for that?
Well, first off, it sounds like if they have put a notice on there to condemn the property and then it would be sold as a tear down or a condemned property, once that process goes through, if 30 days after that, she had a right to file a petition to set it aside. She had a right to get a lawyer and say, we're going to make some repairs and we'll bring it out of that condition. But once it gets to that point, that's kind of called res judicata, meaning the thing has already been settled. That's a Latin word, and it teaches you that you cannot sit on your rights. If you know something's coming forward, then you've got to move then. Now, if these other people bought it as a good faith purchaser and they had the financial resources to go bring the thing up to codes, they could certainly file a petition and say, will you allow us to bring it up to codes and not be demolished? So that's what can really happen. But the word to the wise from your question is take the proactive approach. When you see a problem, go do everything you can before it's ever settled in court, and then you're going to have to make a decision, do I appeal or not? And if you don't, res judicata.
All right. Got Jean here. Hi, Jean.
Hi.
How can we help you today?
I was just wanting to ask the question. In doing a divorce, is Tennessee a fault state, and what does that mean?
Well, you know, we use the term fault and no fault. In Tennessee, we have what's known as an irreconcilable differences divorce. That is, if Amy and I are married and we've resolved all our issues. You get the dog, you get the kids, and I get the house, and we sign it. That's really, it's not her fault and not my fault. It would fall in, that's a no fault. In Tennessee, if Amy says, no, 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 Kevin, I want all the alimony and I want all these other things, well, then she's going to have to prove fault on me to make her claim go forward. In a no fault, both parties have to sign. If you can't get it signed, then you're going to have to try to prove that Amy was really mean to me, and she'll say that I was really mean to her, and then the judge is going to have to call it.
I think it's going to be an easy case, Kevin.
Yeah, you think? Yes, Amy's too smart. You got to be careful when you marry those lawyers now.
Yeah.
They've been trained too well.
All right, we've got Colleen here. Hi, Colleen. Colleen, are you with us? Or Pauline? Sorry, Pauline with the P. Are you with us? Pauline? All right, we will come back to Pauline if we can. Let's go to Larry here. Hi, Larry.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, glad to.
Okay, I have a child support issue. I have a son that's 28 years old. He has cerebral palsy, which I've been paying child support for still now. But my question is, after he turned 18, well, when child support was set on me, there was some arrears set for $20,000. Well, I'm not getting any credit for it. I'm just paying regular child support still for that $20,000. It never disappeared, and I was just wondering, could they credit me for all the, other years that I paid him?
Okay, really what it sounds like, yes, a lawyer could help you a lot. You know, in the system, there's tens of thousands of people in the child support system. They are humans. Humans make mistakes. So if you call them, they say, hey, we're not going to pay you any attention, you got to get a lawyer. Remember that old saying, the squeaky door gets the oil?
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. And people fall through the cracks. You hear of guys that get locked up and it was a misunderstanding and they're in there for months and then they say, oops, we made a mistake. So mistakes are made. I would get a lawyer, and even if you paid the lawyer a couple of $1,000s to help you get this corrected, you saved $20,000 that you're out.
Right. And we've got a lot more people here waiting for questions, and please keep those questions coming. 737 plus 737-7587. We'll be back after a quick break with Kevin Kennedy.